I thought you were going to say he shot Harry in his hairy nards.
Merry Christmas!
Hey, I'm Blake.
And I'm Dave.
And this is the Christmas episode of First Prize Films, the jingliest podcast, where we each select a genre-specific movie separated by at least a decade and pit them against each other to find out which film wins the coveted title of First Prize. Dave, what does that mean for us?
So it means about the same as leaving milk and cookies out for Santa. It's all fake.
Oh.
So today we are coming down your chimney, which is not a sexual thing, with these Christmas movies. And since it's Christmas time, we're going to break our own rules a little bit, right?
Yep, we are disregarding our 10-year difference rule because this is our show and we do what we want.
Yeah, I made Blake watch Home Alone, a movie that is the sole reason why an entire generation thinks they could best home intruders.
Oh no, so many child deaths. And I made Dave watch 1992's Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, a film that cemented Kevin McAllister's Christmas time thirst for blood.
As if it already wasn't bad enough.
We were kind of kicking back and forth a few ideas. Why did we land on Home Alone?
Well, I think it's because you think of Christmas movies, almost immediately the first ones you think of are the Home Alone movies.
Yeah.
1 and 2, because fuck 3 and 4 and anything after that.
They don't exist for me.
Yeah, I think they were among the first movies that anybody comes up with, aside from Die Hard.
They're kind of Christmas classics of our generation, right? They came out when we were really little. We grew up watching them on VHS, and, when you're a kid, you relate to it and all the themes and stuff. And I think there's an overwhelming sense of people wanting to watch these movies specifically around this time. And I think we got to figure out which one's the ultimate Christmas movie. There's a lot of things that go into a Christmas movie, Dave.
Yeah, and I know we came up with, our list later on in the Thunderdome, but the fact that we didn't talk about eggnog and cookies and milk and stuff, it kind of bums me out a little bit.
But we do talk about murder, so it's pretty much on par.
Did we watch the same movie?
Gremlins?
Moving on!
I'm very confused. Okay, we're going to take this in chronological order, so we're not that confusing to you.
Right.
So Dave is taking the older movie this time around. 1990s Home Alone. We should get into it.
Yeah, just let me get my micro machines and flamethrowers and we're good to go.
Doing Satan's work over here, we are. Trying to get this...
Santa.
What did I say? Dave's full of eggnog and I'm full of whiskey, but that's just Sunday for me. Let's talk about Home Alones.
Movie 1, Home Alone, 1990.
So Dave.
Yes.
I need to know the synopsis for 1990's Home Alone.
In this feel-good Christmas story, we'll follow the McAllister family as they go on a Christmas vacation, as if they didn't learn a damn thing from that Chevy Chase movie. We'll watch as they fucking forget their 8-year-old, and he has to fend off 2 thieves by nearly killing them several times.
Yay, maiming strangers.
So we open to a house covered in Christmas lights, where inside there are kids running around like feral chimps, adults walking around like Sims characters, and a random police officer. So, minus the police officer, this looks like my Christmases growing up, but also my current biggest nightmare.
The lunatics have overrun the asylum, Dave. It's madness, and I'm not here for this.
Mom, Uncle Frank won't let me watch the movie, but the big kids can.
So then we're introduced to our main character, Kevin McAllister, played by the not yet scary looking Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, come on. Macaulay Culkin's a good dude.
He's a good dude. I didn't say anything about his personality.
He's not scary looking.
Have you seen pictures of him as an adult?
I have.
He looks kind of scary.
He looks very nice. I love you, Macaulay Culkin. You're welcome on our show anytime.
Big fan of the show, Macaulay is. So he complains to his mom, who could not be bothered in any way, shape, or form.
Kevin, out of the room.
Hang up the phone and make me, why don't you?
Shots.
After mom miraculously doesn't punt Kevin out of the room, dad comes in and foreshadows the fuck out of us by telling Kevin to pick up the micro machines all over the floor. And now we meet older brother Buzz, who is just as shitty as a stupid name.
I hate Buzz.
Buzz?
Don't you know how to knock phlegm wad?
He then scares Kevin by accusing the creepy old dude across the street of being a shovel killer. You know, standard older brother stuff.
Yeah.
Back in 58, murdered his whole family and half the people on the block.
So next thing you know, a pizza guy shows up and hangs out with the police officer who definitely has no ulterior motives, while they both wait for a single adult to wander out of the fucking abyss.
Hi, are you Mr. McAllister?
Yeah.
So after the not at all suspicious officer questions Mr. McAllister, or Peter, about their travel plans, Big Head Buzz antagonizes Kevin until he snaps like one of those gym bands hitting someone in the face.
I wouldn't know.
So there's a small scuffle, and milk is poured all over everything. What kind of psychopaths drink milk while eating pizza?
Bro, I'm not going to lie to you. This validated my childhood because we drank milk with every single meal.
No.
Bolognese, milk.
No.
Fucking pizza, milk. SpaghettiOs, milk.
Oh my God, it's disgusting.
My bones are strong, Dave.
No, you're a psychopath.
Oh, maybe that was what I was thinking of.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
So the entire family shits on Kevin, and Mom drags him upstairs to punish him for standing up for himself. But not before stopping to finally pay the pizza guy, who I guess was just gonna fucking stand there all night. And she talks to the police officer, who winks at Kevin, revealing a gold tooth.
Yeah, first off, lots of weird things here. Patient cop, strange. Even more patient pizza guy? Fucking A, dude. Also, don't let...
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm sure if you're a pizza delivery person, you're fine. Don't let them in your house.
Right, what the fuck?
Don't worry about me. I spoke to your husband already. And don't worry about your home. It's in good hands.
I don't like the way you said that, officer. Anyway, Mom decides that Kevin needs to go hang out in the attic as punishment for Buzz being a dickhead.
Everyone in this family hates me.
Then maybe you should ask Santa for a new family.
So that's where Buzz gets it from.
And honestly, if I was Kevin, I would be pissed as shit too. I've been in this position as well, I'm a middle child, so it's mostly like I'm a ghost in my own house. But when I was recognized, they're like, hey, we know you. You suck. It's your fault.
Ghost of Christmas irrelevant. So once up in the attic, Kevin lounges on like a pull-out sofa bed, and we can hear his thoughts for some fucking reason.
I wish they would all just disappear.
After the Windy City earns its name and knocks out the power for the whole block in the middle of the night, the McAllister family alarm clock doesn't go off because it's 1990 and there are no cell phones with batteries. Though I'm pretty sure if my phone didn't get charged at night, it'd probably die in my sleep, which makes me a little jealous.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Oh, I was going to say.
So the entire family scrambles to get ready for the airport, or as I call it, gets ready for the airport, when an annoying neighbor boy who was never introduced before and is never seen again gets confused for Kevin as the head count is done.
This kid is way too social for my liking.
And then the family takes off for the airport, and then they barely make the flight, or, you know, the Dave way of making a flight.
The only way you know how.
Did we miss the flight? No, you just made it.
Yeah! Meanwhile, back at the house, Kevin wakes up to see his wish has come true.
I made my family disappear.
And how does he react to this revelation? He immediately goes through Big Head Buzz's stuff, watches mob movies, and eats ice cream for breakfast. He's celebrating like I do when I get the house to myself for a few days.
I was going to say, this entire montage is me in the present day. When we both have a day out. You know, I'm jumping on my bed, I'm eating crap all day, and I also remember how scary my heater sounds when I turned it on.
Guys, I'm eating junk and watching rubbish. You better come out and stop me.
Back on the plane, Mom wakes up to the feeling of forgetting something. What could it be?
The whole ass human you shoved out roughly 8 years ago.
She racks her brain when finally,
Kevin! What kind of mother am I?
relax, shitty Mom. I forget stuff all the time when I travel. Granted, I've never forgotten a whole ass human, but still.
Also, don't fucking yell. Keep it to yourself. I don't care if you left your fucking child. It's not my kid. I don't care. Don't scare me.
Right, it's an overnight flight. People are trying to sleep.
It makes you feel any better. I forgot my reading glasses.
So now we see Officer Bad Guy with his literal partner in crime scoping out the block to clean gutters, I'm sure.
5 families gone on 1 block alone.
It's almost too easy.
No, they're thieves, or bandits, if you will. And guess what, Blake? The McAllister home is their big tuna, which is a weird phrase because tuna is fucking gross.
Agreed.
Anyway, the bad guys, henceforth known as Harry and Marv, wake up Kevin as they sneak up to the house with the same level of stealth as a horse on a hardwood floor.
They just walk the fuck up. Hey! Anybody home?
Like, they're doing that weird, like, whispering thing where you're actually talking really loudly.
Yeah.
But Big Brain Kevin immediately flips on all the lights, spooking Harry and Marv.
I thought you said they were gone.
We're supposed to leave this morning.
After deciding that hiding under the bed just won't do, Kevin decides his balls have dropped and he goes outside to announce it to the world.
Hey, I'm not afraid anymore.
But then his balls get sucked right back up into his body when creepy old shovel guy creepies his way up to Kevin, dragging a shovel behind him.
This guy is trying to look mean and scary. There's like a little give and take, buddy, okay? There's a reason you're known as the shovel killer, you fucking weirdo.
Let's be real, Blake. That old guy knew what he was doing and was scaring Kevin on purpose.
That's true. Hail Satan. Anyway.
Santa. God damn it.
Oh, God, I'm gonna do that all episode, huh?
Mom gets a hold of the local Chicago Police Department, who, after pulling teeth, are literally no help, which is the most believable part of this movie so far.
You want us to go to your house just to check on him?
Yes!
Dude, do you think there's like charges for parents who leave their kids at home and travel out of the country? Like, no one seems to give a fuck about this.
Listen, I will get there, but I fucking hope so. So, they send a police officer to the house who knocks like 3 fucking times before he's like,
"There's no one home. The house looks secure. Time to count their kids again."
See? Believable.
Fuck. Chicago cops, man, need a little talking to.
At the same time, Dad is being told that the airline can't do shit for them either, which is the second believable thing in this movie.
It's a documentary.
The only thing they have is a booking for all of us on Friday morning.
Friday morning. That's 2 days away.
So here we are, Blake. The family is stuck in Paris for 2 days, and Kevin is stuck in Chicago, also for 2 days, and both sound equally horrible. But Mom sends the rest of the family to enjoy themselves while she waits at the airport, all too happily, I might add.
She can't fucking wait to get out of there. She's like realized how many fucking kids she has, and she's like, this sucks, dude.
Now, Kevin, who is doing a better job of taking care of himself than I take care of my 33-year-old ass, decides to go get a toothbrush with the money that he steals from Big Head Buzz's top shelf. Okay, I didn't say anything about him not destroying shit, now did I? Oh, fuck, he let loose the tarantula. I forgot about that part.
Oh, no. Oh, at least it wasn't a snake.
I disagree. So.
You think you could keep it down a little in there, huh?
We're with Harry and Marv as they burglarize one of the neighbors' houses in broad fucking daylight.
Yeah.
When Peter McAllister, the dad, leaves a voicemail, or was it called a voicemail in 1990?
Tape recording. He leaves a message. That's what it is.
There we go. Anyway, Marv hears him leaving a message over the answering machine.
Chuck, this is Peter McAllister again, and we're still in Paris at my brother's apartment.
Hey, Harry?
Yeah?
That house we were at last night, was that the McAllisters?
Yeah.
You're right. They're gone.
After Kevin gets scared into shoplifting by creepy old shovel guy at the store, and then chased through a park by a real police officer who was doing real police work of giving a ticket, Kevin is walking sadly by himself down his street when... Hey, watch out! Harry and Marv nearly become murderers.
And I just want to point out, too, that the cops are more concerned with a stolen toothbrush than a child left home alone.
I know.
Merry Christmas.
But after Kevin recognizes Harry's gold tooth, the self-proclaimed wet bandits decide to stalk an 8-year-old.
Cool.
So they chase him until he hides in a nativity scene in front of a church because religion is a great deterrent.
Religion is a great cover. It's a metaphor.
When those guys come back, I'll be ready.
Fast forward to that night, and Kevin has staged a fake party with mannequins and a giant cardboard cutout of Michael Jordan that they just had around the house, I guess.
This is exactly how I convince my neighbors I'm not a total antisocial weirdo.
This mannequin party spooks Harry and Marv, which, you know, I gotta say I relate to because a mannequin party sounds terrifying.
That's why you stopped coming to my apartment.
Hey.
Please come back.
So the wet bandits decide they're gonna come back the next night.
You better get out of here before somebody sees us.
Now we're back at the Paris airport where Mom is trying to barter with an elderly couple like she's on Pawn Stars to switch her tickets.
I'm desperate. I'm begging you. From a mother to a mother, please. Oh, Ed, please.
Oh, all right.
The next day, Kevin, who is yet again doing a better job at adulting than I do, sees Marv through the curtains at the back door, checking the doorknob. But he's got a trick up his sleeve.
What's that, Dave?
Get the hell out of here.
All right, Johnny. But what about my money?
He plays that mob movie and puts Big Head Buzz's firecrackers in a pot and then... He scares Marv off. This kid is smart and responsible and maybe a little mischievous.
This kid is Mensa level, like, smart. He's doing the dishes, sees a stranger, and he's like, okay, I'm going to turn on this movie, scare the shit out of them, and then add some sound effects with these firecrackers. And he thinks of this in, like, 3 seconds.
No wonder his family is shitting on him. They're jealous.
Exactly.
So, remember how Mom got a flight home?
Yeah.
Well, she's actually in Scranton, probably pre-Dunder Mifflin. And after she makes a scene, a fucking traveling polka band decides to help her out.
Now, I heard you had some problems. You're getting to Chicago to see your kid or something? If you have to get to Chicago, we'll gladly drive you. It's on the way to Milwaukee.
Led by John Candy, by the way.
I was gonna say.
And a great cameo, man.
Back at the house, though, Harry and Marv realize they're being scammed by a child, which should have been humiliating, but was somehow inspiring. So they decide to come back that night, and Kevin hears their whole plan because they just say it outside in the backyard.
Again, in the daylight. It's like, we're coming back at 9 p.m. tonight. We're gonna fuck that little kid up.
Right. So then he calls the cops, and they prevent the robbery, and Merry Christmas. No? Plot hole? All right, well, let's keep going then.
Is he still here? It's really important that I see him.
Let's get in his car.
So before he preps for the Wet Bandit's return, Kevin makes a very standard and very important stop first to a fake Santa. He needs a message passed to the real Santa.
Would you please tell him that instead of presents this year, I just want my family back?
This Santa has way less upside down crosses than I was anticipating.
Again, you are being dyslexic.
Satan.
There you go. Oh, wait.
It is cute, but for real, this Santa Claus has no further questions.
No.
He's just like, oh, you're alone and your whole family is gone.
But that's true for literally everybody the entire movie. Even the lady and the cop and everybody during the whole accidental shoplifting.
Yeah.
No one even says a single word about the little 8-year-old boy just walking by his goddamn self on the sidewalk.
This kid is more of an adult than the adults around him. If this was actual real life, they'd have a dead 8-year-old on their hands. And Santa is to blame. Hail Santa. Anyway.
There we go. He got it. Well, you know what? Enough of the whole cute kid thing, even though it doesn't make any sense that no one realizes he's by himself.
Right.
Let's get back to being too old for your age and kick some bad guy ass.
Woo!
Actually, church pit stop. He's got to ask for pre-forgiveness for the pain he's about to inflict.
Forgive me, Father, for I am about to kick some ass.
While he does this, though, he's approached by the creepy old shovel guy.
Merry Christmas. May I sit down?
It's here we find out that creepy old shovel guy is actually just a regular old guy with family problems.
And a shovel, still.
Yeah, well, so he's regular old shovel guy.
Yeah.
After chatting for a few minutes and making nice, wise beyond his years Kevin tells regular old shovel guy to sack up and reach out to his estranged son.
Does Kevin send out like an invoice to this guy for like the time billed for his therapy session?
You imagine being like 70-something years old and an 8-year-old is telling you, like, stop being a pussy, dude.
Listen, you old fuck. Get over it. It's Christmas. Jesus.
This is my house. I have to defend it.
Now that we got all that feel-good crap out of the way, you know what time it is. Montage time!
Woo!
So we see Kevin setting all his traps, right? We got micro machines, ice on the stairs, heating up a door handle, a rope from house to treehouse, paint cans, and that fucking spider is running around somewhere too.
I mean, some of these are like common sense things for like a little kid, but he has this like grill utensil thing that heats up and he puts it on, like, that is next level. I don't know a kid that would think of that. This kid is wired differently.
Right.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
So now Harry and Marv arrive, interrupting Kevin's delicious-looking mac and cheese dinner. But listen, we can't worry about cold mac and cheese because it's fucking game on, dude. Oh, wait, that's the wrong movie.
Sorry, I'm getting too into this.
So Marv and Harry just Jehovah's Witness on the back door and asked to be let in.
Excuse me.
But luckily, Kevin isn't having any of their shit.
Be a good little fella now and open the door.
He shoots Harry right in the dick with his pellet gun through the doggy door, and then Marv sticks his big doofus head through the doggy door, where Kevin pings him right in the doofus forehead. And you know what this does, Blake? It causes the wet bandits to split up. Harry goes to the front door, Marv through the basement, and they both slip on Kevin's ice stairs on the way to their respective doors. I would laugh at that more, but the last time I laughed at someone slipping and falling, I immediately slipped and fell. Now, I know I'm sitting right now, but that's not a risk I'm willing to take. Anyway, we get to see each of the wet bandits get absolutely pummeled by Kevin's traps. Marv takes an iron to the dome once inside, and Harry burns his palm clean off the glowing doorknob. But we're just getting started, my guy. Next, Marv is barefoot thanks to the tar on the steps pulling off his shoes and socks, and he steps on a fucking nail, making me cringe. You know how when you bite into something that you think is something else, like a apple that's not fucking rotten? That's the kind of cringe it made me do.
Move on.
Okay, fine. At the same time, Harry takes a homemade flamethrower to the dome.
This is when I was like, whoa, this kid turned from a shoplifter into a serial murderer really quick.
Oh my god, I know, right?
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
You gotta give it to the wet bandits here, Blake. The tenacity is unparalleled, because instead of just grabbing some shit and leaving, they're chasing the kid for revenge. Sorry, did I say tenacity? I meant stupidity.
Yeah, this is cut your losses territory and get the fuck out of there.
Like, by the fucking iron / burning your palm on the head, then I'm like, I quit.
They give up even trying to steal anything. Now they're just trying to kill Kevin.
And because of that, they try and chase Kevin up the stairs, but he's ready for them. Heads up! He throws a couple of paint can pendulums off the banister, knocking them down and knocking Harry's gold tooth out.
911 emergency.
Oh, my house is being robbed. My address is 656 Lincoln Boulevard. My name's Murphy.
Kevin, who is 19 steps ahead of these morons, calls 911, but for his neighbor's house.
Why? I mean, I get that he's playing chess here while our sticky bandits are playing tic-tac-toe, but like, come on, just call the cops to your current ass house.
Oh yeah, I guess that is an option.
Probably.
Anyway. As Kevin makes a break for the attic, Marv dives and catches his foot. But Kevin saves himself by putting the fucking tarantula on Marv's face. And I refuse to cheer for a spider, okay? The best I can do is a half-hearted yay, okay?
Give it to me.
Yay. So now, Kevin rides a bike handlebar contraption on the rope to the treehouse with the upper body strength of an Olympic gymnast. And Harry and Marv decide to climb over to the treehouse on the rope because it's safer, I guess, than walking through a couple of already released traps.
Hey guys, check this out.
Oh, go back. Oh.
Of course, Kevin cuts the rope because he's the secret spawn of Stephen Hawking and Aubrey Plaza's character on Parks and Rec.
Truth.
And he leads them across the street to his neighbor house, where they finally outsmart the 8-year-old.
Hiya, pal. We outsmarted you this time.
I mean, I just said that, but whatever. So they hang Kevin on a door hook thing by his collar of his shirt, which somehow is not choking the literal life out of him.
Yeah, why didn't they just, I'm sorry, I'm not advocating for this, but why didn't they just fucking kill him?
I mean, yeah, that was the goal, but I mean, being humiliated that hard by a child, I think you'd want to at least say some words.
Seems grandstandy, but whatever.
And I'll burn his head with a blowtorch.
And smash his face with an iron.
So they tell him all the ways they're going to torture him back. You know the old phrase, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, right?
Yeah.
Is that the... Okay.
That's the one.
Regardless, they're going to torture him the same way he tortured them when suddenly... Creepy shovel guy. Sorry. Regular old shovel guy to the rescue. He gets Kevin out of there and back to his own house as the cops show up and arrest the wet bandits. After Kevin waves to Harry through the window with a shit-eating grin on his face, he sets out milk and cookies for Santa and arranges the presents that he happened to have bought for his entire family with what money? I don't know. And suddenly, he has a perfectly clean house. Also, the fact that he's not, like, traumatized by this, even remotely, makes me think he's a psychopath.
Well, dude, so I'm saying, not only does he still believe in Santa, but, like, I would believe in nothing after this. Nothing.
Fast forward to the next morning, Christmas morning, and Kevin wakes up to snow falling. He runs down the stairs to see the milk and cookies are still out and no one's home. And after I get sad because Kevin is sad,
Kevin!
Mom is home!
Yay.
But kinda fuck her.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
She sees the tree and presents as Kevin runs down the stairs to find a smiling mom.
Aw.
Merry Christmas, sweetheart. Oh, Kevin, I'm so sorry.
No, too late, Mom. You left an 8-year-old by himself to fend off. Oh, they're hugging. Well, all right. I guess we're all good then.
I thought it was going to be a reversal where he's like, Mom, I love you, and punches her right in the face.
That's how I would have done it.
Deserved it.
Now the entire family walks to the door, not 5 minutes after Mom, who went on a 2-day journey in the back of a box truck with a polka band. She could have just enjoyed 2 days in Paris. Though I guess that probably would have made her even shittier. Don't listen to me.
That would have been an extra fuck her if she would have just been like, no, it's fine. We'll take the next available flight.
It's pretty cool that you didn't burn the place down.
After Big Head Buzz congratulates Kevin for not burning down the house, the family finds out that he went shopping, and they're rightly blown away because he's 8.
No kidding. What else did you do while we were away?
Just hung around.
Stop being modest, Kevin.
Yeah, he must have spent the rest of the night cleaning up all the tar and, thanking the good Lord he didn't burn down his fucking house with the tool implement and the flamethrower and all this shit. All the glass shards everywhere. I mean, the kid's incredible.
So after the family celebrates for roughly 15 seconds of seeing Kevin again, they all just go about their way, leaving Kevin by himself again, and he sees regular old shovel guy reuniting with his son and his son's family.
Aww.
And the old guy waves at Kevin before they go inside, and I'm not crying, you're crying.
Kevin! What did you do to my room?
Roll credits.
It was a cute moment with Old Man Withers and the shovel, but maybe Kevin unknowingly just delivered him his next victims. What if he actually was a killer and he just wasn't into killing little kids?
Listen, this movie's already really dark if you pull off the veil. Why would you make it worse?
Because I suck and I'm terrible. Hail Satan. This is a beautiful ending, though. It really is.
I agree. And listen, I kind of blew past the moment where Mom gets back inside, but I choked up when that happened. Even though Mom sucks and she should never have forgotten her fucking child, it still is like, oh.
Oh, it's beautiful. I don't have anything to joke or make fun of you for because it actually is a really heartwarming moment.
I know,
I'm like,
right?
Oh, it's really sweet. And this movie really sells that, too. Because we didn't talk about it too much, but you see the panic in Catherine O'Hara's character, the mom character's face.
Yes.
The rest of the family doesn't give a fuck. They're drinking champagne and basically talking shit about Kevin. And she's about to murder somebody to get back to her kid. So good for you. You're not a great parent, but you have some redeemable qualities.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But I got my eye on you, Kate.
Maybe that was half of her motivation they didn't dive into in the movie. They're like, yeah, my son, he's probably fine, but I'm going to go to jail.
Yeah, that's probably her entire motivation based on the way she talks to him for the whole first 15 minutes in the movie.
It's true. What a wild ride. But this is a movie that is a classic for a reason. It's great, and I really enjoyed it.
I never realized how much I loved this movie, and I guess both of these movies technically, until I rewatched them. Like, this last rewatch, I was like, God, these movies are good.
They are. They're good. And they're kind of like inspiring when you're a kid, you know?
Yeah, I remember as a kid seeing this and being like, I want to set traps for people now.
I want to send somebody to the hospital.
I'm telling you, an entire generation of kids started adamantly rooting for home intruders.
And people wonder why millennials are the way they are.
Because we're so fucked up.
Anyway, speaking of fucked up, let's go to Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, a deeply problematic film of which I have many thoughts about.
Yay!
Movie 2, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, 1992.
All right, Blake. Now that we've seen what it's like when an 8-year-old is left by himself while the rest of his family's on vacation, let's talk about Home Alone 2, where a 10-year-old is left by himself while his family goes on vacation. Give me that synopsis.
The year is 1992. One boy from Chicago visits New York during Christmas time and runs amok in the city. He'll outsmart airport security, con a luxury hotel chain, and ultimately lead the homeless to rise up and catch the bad guys trying to steal from tiny, crippled children.
Terrible. We open to the chaotic McAllister household where our Lord of the Flies origin story begins, Dave. There's children everywhere and no parents in sight, which can only mean one thing. Cannibalism is next.
I don't care if I age like an old suitcase. I'm getting toasted.
Great. Now you can be a skag with a slightly darker shade of skin.
It's been 1 year since the first movie, and instead of France for Christmas, the McAllisters are swapping their brie cheese and baguettes for gators and malt liquor. They're going to Florida, baby.
Oh.
Kevin, played once again by Macaulay Culkin, has some notes about this arrangement.
Why do we have to go to Florida? There's no Christmas trees in Florida. How could you have Christmas without a Christmas tree, Mom?
Fair questions, but after spying on Uncle Frank in the shower and setting himself up for a decade of interpersonal therapy sessions, Kevin and the entire family now find themselves at a school Christmas pageant.
Christmas tree, my Christmas tree.
Here, Kevin's older brother Buzz, eternal dickhead, decides to humiliate Kevin during his vocal solo, as if the robes they're wearing aren't humiliating enough. Dude, like, come on.
But also, why is everyone laughing so fucking hard at Buzz's antics? Dude. They weren't even funny. However, the piano player getting donked on the head was fucking funny.
Yeah, exactly. Kevin has had enough of this shit and everybody laughing at him, so he fights back, he pushes Buzz, and the entire set comes collapsing down around him. I think Kevin was right here.
Oh, 100% Kevin was right here.
Everybody treats Kevin like shit, man. Also, why is Buzz a distinct teenager, by the way, singing in a choir with 30 other fucking, 10-year-olds?
I don't know. Maybe because, puberty hit Buzz early like a fucking freight train.
Dude. Buzz is obviously not, the smartest kid here, but, how many grades do you need to fail before they just send you to another school instead of putting you in class with literal children? This seems unsafe. I'm just saying. It's a safety issue.
Yeah. Well, I think Buzz is a safety issue.
Yeah.
I'd also like to apologize to my brother. Kevin, I'm sorry.
Kevin, do you have something to say?
Eat shit, you assholes. That's what it's basically what Kevin says in his own way.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the last film, Kevin was so happy to see his family again, but this time he might want to take some of the tricks he learned from the last movie and use them on his family, specifically the fire part. Looking at you, Buzz and Uncle Frank.
Oh, right.
They're all a bunch of jerks.
So Kevin goes off to bed, but guess what, Dave? Kevin's parents... they overslept again this year.
Oh, God. I mean, listen, you didn't learn from the last time to have, I don't know, an egg timer or something as a backup?
An egg timer.
We did it again!
For as much money as the McAllisters must have taking 14 kids and 4 adults on Christmas vacations every fucking year, you'd think they'd also spend some money on a fucking alarm clock with a backup battery.
That's what I'm saying. Egg timer.
Also, this movie must have saved a lot of money by using every single music cue from the first movie again. So the family run through the airport to catch their flight, passing a ton of extras just carrying around fully wrapped packages. Is that a thing? I was like, is that a fucking thing? Do people do that? What do they do? They jam this in the overhead storage? Do you carry it with you the whole flight?
They might have. Listen, we had to establish that it's Christmas. Also, this family really should have learned their lesson at the airport last year. And the lesson is that Kevin needs a leash.
One of those little twangy ones, and they run too far.
Yep.
Dad, wait up!
speaking of Kevin, remember how before I said I was on his side with all this stuff?
Yeah.
Well, turns out he's just as dumb and impatient as pretty much every other kid because he loses track of his family trying to put batteries, into his talk boy, and he follows the wrong fucking guy onto a flight.
Oh my God.
We have to close up here. They're ready to go.
He dropped his boarding pass.
You're sure your family's on this flight?
Yeah.
Pre-9/11 airport security really be relying on the word of some goofy-ass kid in a sweater over common sense. The 90s.
Yeah, but honestly, are you really going to question an 8-year-old white boy?
Yes. I was an 8-year-old white boy. I made lots of questionable decisions. And
I did too, but I'm not bringing down a plane.
I might have. You never know. I don't know.
Mine's Flight 176, non-stop to New York. Our flight time.
Now, Kevin lands in the less methy, more stabby New York City. He realizes his mistake, but instead of panicking, he's stoked, dude.
I know, right?
First, because fuck his family, they suck. But second, because he has his dad's bag. And if there's one thing we know about the McAllisters, they are loaded.
Yes, they fucking are.
My family's in Florida. I'm in New York.
So with a bag full of cash and AA batteries, Kevin takes off into the city more confidently than I am in my own city.
I do have one major question here, Blake.
Yeah, what?
How the hell did Kevin get a cab? How did he get out of the airport, actually?
He's literally riding in cabs, taking pictures, going to the top of the World Trade Center, and didn't even, get abducted or anything.
I mean, the fact that nobody notices an 8-year-old by themselves getting a cab.
Right.
Mind-boggling.
So as Kevin casually tours the city, a couple familiar faces show up in the back of a fish truck. Our old brain-damaged bandits, Harry and Marv, played by Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. They escaped prison during a riot, and I guess they want to be in the nautical meat business.
Here we are, Marv. New York City, the land of opportunity. Smell that? Fish. It's freedom. No, it's fish.
Harry and Marv are actually in New York City for one last big score, Dave, before they hightail it to a foreign country, apparently. I can't tell if this is divine timing, like punishment for Kevin, or punishment for the bad guys. Or both. It could go either way. Yeah. We're going to get back to our bandits later, but right now we have way more bird and hotel setup to get to.
Plaza Hotel, New York's most exciting hotel experience. Sick.
Kevin is scared out of Central Park by a woman covered in pigeons, so we gotta get to the Plaza Hotel.
Why does Kevin always find the creepy old people? Is he just like a giant prune?
Prune? That took way longer than it should have. So Kevin gets to the Plaza Hotel and cons the clerks into letting him check in alone. And I gotta say, this is a cute scene and all, but Kevin needs to be examined by a professional and monitored for life. This kid is gonna grow up to run a fucking Ponzi scheme.
Can I help you?
Reservation for McAllister?
A reservation for yourself?
Ma'am, my feet are hardly touching the ground. I'm barely able to look over this counter. How can I make a reservation for a hotel room? I don't think so.
Hey, so quick question. Why are these workers so irritated just by the sight of a child?
These people are immediately suspicious of Kevin, and I might have an answer for it, but we're gonna get there.
This is great.
In the meantime, Kevin, they let him up to his room, and he's living his best life. He's eating diabetes-inducing levels of ice cream, he's doing cannonballs in the hotel pool, and he's watching 1940s noir films. Kid stuff.
You got me all wrong.
I believe you. But my Tommy gun don't.
This is actually a direct sequel movie to the movie from the first movie.
Wait.
Did those words make sense together?
Well, we're gonna pretend like they did.
So what would you do yourself, Dave, if you made it this far as a kid?
Oh, I wouldn't have, number one. But number two, everything he's doing.
You would have gone to the World Trade Center, you would have gone to Times Square and shit.
Let me rephrase. Everything that he's doing in the room.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I would have shit my pants at the airport.
housekeeping.
While all of this fun stuff goes on, the concierge, played by Tim Curry, is skeptical, just like we were talking about. There's like no reason given why the concierge is skeptical of Kevin.
I don't know. I just think they hate kids.
And I kind of get it a little bit. I'm not like struggling financially, but I'm also not above mugging children for lots of cash. So for some reason, instead of calling the room or knocking on the door to try to talk to Kevin's father and make sure his story is correct, the concierge decides to do a little recon and just fucking break into the room. Just lets himself in. Like, what are you doing, dude? Why does this matter?
It's crazy, right? Also, it feels super illegal to just break into a hotel room while the guest is in it.
It definitely is. But also, something else happens when he's in there.
Get out of here, you nosy little pervert, or I'm gonna slap you silly!
The concierge is scared out of the hotel room by Kevin's quick, malevolent thinking. Kevin decides it's pool float marionette hour and rigs up this clown dummy in the tub to scare off the concierge. And luckily, he recorded his own uncle in the shower earlier in the movie, so it all makes sense.
It all flows perfectly.
You're cooking, Frankie!
Now that that's over, Kevin can finally get a little rest for his next day of adventures.
Yeah, and it's so sweet that he like says goodnight to his mom, and he still loves her even though she sucks. I mean, still calls CPS though.
It's Stockholm Syndrome, still.
Yeah, a little bit.
No transportation here?
Out in front, sir. A limousine and a pizza.
So Kevin, in his limousine with a lap full of pizza, decides to go to a toy store, and the concierge finally runs Kevin's credit card that he gave to him. And guess what? The machine doesn't just deny this credit card, it clearly says stolen on it.
Which is totally a thing, and definitely how credit card machines work.
I was going to ask. Okay, I didn't think so.
I had a thought when he goes into that toy store.
Yeah.
This is the single biggest victim of internet shopping, is toy stores. I miss Jeffrey the Giraffe.
I'm glad you actually brought up the toy store, because right now we're with Harry and Marv, our pliable bandits, and they find their big score.
There's nobody dumb enough to knock off a toy store on Christmas Eve.
They're gonna rob Duncan's toy chest on Christmas Eve, and guess who shows up to Duncan's toy chest right now?
Oh, you're giving me a... Oh, I've been waiting for this moment. The Fonz?
Did you see the fucking Fonz?
No.
It is Kevin, and it's kind of like the writer knows what dramatic irony is. It's great.
Here we are, sir. Duncan's toy chest.
Kevin waltzes into Duncan's, which only sells wooden toys from 1925, and he learns that all the proceeds from Christmas Eve sales are going towards giving hot soup to Tiny Tim and the rest of the city orphanage.
And Kevin is such a good kid, dude. I mean, he gives $20 that doesn't even belong to him to charity. It's amazing.
Here's my rich dad's $20 bill.
All the money the store takes in today, Mr. Duncan is donating it to the Children's Hospital.
So all this money is going to the Children's Hospital, but this scene is wild because it really plays like an old TV Christmas drama from the 50s. Doesn't it? It feels like all the set decoration stuff. It's great. It's wholesome.
Hey, look who it is, Marv.
So outside the toy store, Kevin decides what Michelin star restaurant he's going to order his SpaghettiOs from when our bandits, Harry and Marv, they spot him because of his bag that reads K. McAllister.
Hiya, pal.
Dude, listen, it's one single scream is enough to scare off any bad guy. I'm gonna try that if I ever get mugged, and I'm sure I won't get shot even a little bit.
I hope I get shot. So I have one question here, Dave.
Sure.
Where's the fucking limo?
Oh, what?
The limo driver dropped a child off at a toy store and fucking ghosted. He's like, this little shithead is eating pizza in my limo and making me take him to toy stores on Christmas Eve. I should be with my family. Fuck this kid. So Kevin, instead of taking the limo, just runs away from Harry and Marv, and he runs back to the hotel where they are now after him for that whole I flew to a different city and committed credit card fraud thing that was going on.
Stop that child!
Instead of calmly helping the scared child, the concierge and Rob Schneider, playing himself, chase Kevin through the hotel. This is a good idea.
I love how it ends horribly.
I've had enough of this vacation. I'm going home.
Now in his hotel room, Kevin grabs supplies and uses the TV to fake an active shooter situation and skip out on his bill.
Not before he gets the necessities, Blake. Cookies.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.
Unfortunately, after Kevin escapes the hotel, he is immediately captured by Harry and Marv, who conspicuously perp walk him through the city. So while they're waiting to politely cross the street, Kevin reaches forward and pinches a lady in the rear. She turns around and obviously thinks it's Marv, who is fucking creepy and looks like the human version of Big Bird. And
Big Bird on meth.
She slaps him, and Kevin uses that opportunity to run away.
Yeah, and I think we can all learn from Kevin here. Sexual assault can get you out of kidnapping. Wait, no, that cannot possibly be the lesson here.
No! Oh my god!
Should have shot him when we had the chance.
What can he do? He's a kid. Kids are helpless.
Marv, you know... You know full well Kevin is not a normal kid.
Oh my god.
You two are part of his supervillain origin story right now. Buy a helmet and some shin guards, I implore you.
I don't want to ever take a vacation like this again.
It's dark now, so Kevin does the smart thing and wanders unarmed into Central Park. Luckily, he meets the pigeon lady from before. Do you remember her, Dave? Yeah.
Yeah, the creepy old lady. Mm-hmm.
The bird lady gets Kevin's foot unstuck from a rock, so naturally, they become best friends.
I'm Kevin McAllister. Your birds are real nice.
And what do new friends do, Dave? They hang out in attics over concert halls, and one of them calls you out because your wardrobe has too much bird shit on it.
I think you just have to wear an outfit that doesn't have pigeon poop on it.
Also, I love that Kevin learned faster this time to trust the creepy old person because they're gonna be his ace up the sleeve or his early bird special up the sleeve.
If I don't see you again, I hope everything turns out okay.
Thank you.
But for real, this lady is very sweet. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
She doesn't harvest Kevin's organs, but instead tells him an incredibly well-articulated story of having her heart broken, which gives Kevin a little bit of perspective.
At midnight tonight, we're hitting Duncan's toy chest.
You can mess with a lot of things. But you can't mess with kids on Christmas.
So after his little pep talk, Kevin is imbued with the wholesome Christmas feeling. Revenge. He's gonna stop Harry and Marv from stealing from the Broken Children building.
Oh my god!
So Kevin arrives to his aunt and uncle's place, conveniently right next to Central Park, but they aren't home and their house is being torn up for a remodel. Some people see an old house as an eyesore, but Kevin sees it as a canvas for murder.
At least attempted murder.
Cue the trap montage. While Kevin plans out his attack strategy, I had a thought about this house.
Okay.
That's some fuck you money right there. Like buying a house right in Manhattan next to Central Park. Leave town for God knows how long while the whole place is being remodeled. Like, who are the McAllisters? Like fucking oil barons? Or like, are they like Chicago mob? What's going on here? I want that story.
Also, like, they have so much money that they rip out like 3 levels of floor.
Yes. They're like gutting this entire brownstone and just fucking off to France. What a bunch of dicks.
What kind of hotel allows a child to check in alone?
Anyway, the rest of the McAllister clan, they're back in New York from Florida at the plaza, and his mom is pissed at the concierge.
I love how she slaps him and he almost cries.
It's beautiful.
It's Christmas Eve, and because of you, our child is lost in one of the biggest cities in the world.
I smell a lengthy lawsuit, Dave. The McAllister crime family doesn't take things this lightly at all.
Merry Christmas, Harry. Happy Hanukkah, Marv.
Now back at Duncan's toy chest, our bandits are stealing cash right in the view of the front window because they're good at their job.
Yep.
Kevin strolls by with a justice brick.
Get the money. I'll kill him.
Man, Kevin has quite the arm to break that glass. Who is he? Peter McBaseball arm? I don't know. Who's a famous pitcher?
Nolan Koufax, I believe?
There we go. Sure. Peter McBaseball arm. That's what I said.
The chase is on, Dave. The bandits, they follow Kevin back to his booby-trapped aunt and uncle's place, and the shenanigans begin.
Oh, holy shit.
Oh, God. Kevin comes in heavy, smashing Marv in the face with like 5 fucking bricks.
And he doesn't die.
No, his skull seems relatively intact. This is followed by such classic injuries as a staple gun to the asshole, a slippery ladder spine realignment, and a bag of wrenches to the cranium.
Oh.
This is all topped off by my favorite, the electrocution faucet, where Marv turns into a literal skeleton.
Oh, amazing.
This is my favorite scream.
I know,
it's
me
so
too.
funny. It makes me laugh every fucking time. And the skeleton is like perfectly cartoony. So good. So this is hardcore as fuck. Kevin has really upped his game.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bunch more of these things, of course. But after our bandits take a perfectly balanced tool chest to their chests and proceed to fall off a 2-story building onto concrete, they chase Kevin, who has just called the cops.
Hello, the 2 guys who robbed Duncan's storage chest are in the park, Central Park West and 95th Street. Look for fireworks. Hurry, they got a gun.
Unfortunately, Kevin didn't take into account that he's a fucking klutz, and he slips on a patch of ice outside, allowing Harry and Marv to catch him. They drag him into Central Park, everybody's favorite park, where they are gonna shoot him in the face.
I love how... Wait, what?
You ought not to mess with us, pal. We're dangerous.
Forget about that, Dave, because remember the pigeon lady.
Oh, were you actually asking me?
Do you remember the pigeon lady?
Yeah, I sure do, yes.
She might be covered in shit, but she's not full of it, Dave. She's here to help Kevin.
Let him go! Kevin, run!
She tosses all of her birdseed, which sticks to the greased-up bandits, and the pigeons attack. They rip all the flesh off the bandits, leaving the cops to only find their bones.
Did you watch an alternate version?
Oh, sorry. That was from my spec script, my fan script I submitted in 1997. In this movie, though, Kevin lights off fireworks while the birds attack, and the cops show up to finally arrest the bandits.
All right, guys, let's go, huh?
Now, finally, all is good, except Kevin is still technically a missing person. Luckily, his mom is on it. She meets some super unhelpful cops who tell her to quit her fucking whining about her missing child on Christmas Eve. But luckily, something comes over her.
Oh, dear God. I know where he is. I need to get to Rockefeller Center.
She races to Rockefeller Center where the big Christmas tree is. And of course, there is Kevin, and he's talking to himself while staring at the tree.
Mom, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too.
Okay, now all is good.
Yeah.
Everyone is safe and happy, except for the bandits and Uncle Rob, who's going to be pissed as hell when he gets back into town and sees his house is all fucked up. But rich people have insurance, Dave.
Yeah, and this reuniting, it happened at the weirdest time. Like, there's just, dust just got into both of my eyes. It was very weird.
Oh, see, I didn't give a shit about this one. First one got me. This one, I was like, yeah, whatever. Go back to the murder stuff before.
I think it only fair that Kevin get to open up the first present.
The sentimentality kicks in, full blast, morning comes, and the whole family is treated to gifts from Duncan's toy chest as a thank you to Kevin, who broke the fucking window. But Kevin has one gift to give himself. He rushes back to the park where he gives the pigeon lady a little trinket to represent their friendship.
Thank you.
I won't forget you.
Man, there's dust everywhere.
Dude, this is so sweet. This is the one that got me choked up.
Yeah, I almost
sure.
cried here for sure.
Oh, it's so heartwarming. Mm-hmm. But there's one last thing, Dave.
Kevin! You spent $967 on road service!
Mr. McAllister, I think
Yeah.
that can be hashed out with the lawsuit that you're definitely going to file.
Also, $900 is cheap as fuck, dog. Especially in New York for the amount of shit that he did. I definitely want to go on this vacation.
I know, me too. If I can take a pizza limo for $900 to a toy store, count me in, dude. Anyway, speaking of limousines, roll credits.
I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
I like this movie so much.
Yeah.
I like this movie a lot, all right? I just don't understand why Mama McAllister doesn't have Kevin in her grasp the entire time they're traveling to the airport. I would be like, you ain't gonna grab my fucking hand, 10-year-old.
Like literally strapped to her chest as she runs through the airport. Not this time, motherfucker. You're coming with. Either way, this is a total blast, though. I think this is the Home Alone movie that stuck with me the most when I was a kid. I thought the abandoned house and stuff was creepy, and like the murder attempts were funnier, and it got like my imagination going in a major way. All around, a really fun time, despite the fact that an incredible amount of coincidences had to happen to make this movie work. It's unfucking real, dude.
I know. Oh god.
It's Comedy of Errors, the movie. Like, holy shit.
It's also Sociopath, the movie.
Dude, I'm telling you, Kevin, that kid, surviving it or not, he's not going to be okay for the rest of his life.
Not even sorta.
No, not even if every other Christmas family vacation goes off without a hitch. This kid is fucked. He's going to be having nightmares of bird people and Marv and Harry for the rest of his godforsaken life. But overall, this is fun. Like, I'm not mad at either of these movies, but we do have to figure out which one is the most Christmassy of them, which is, I think, going to be an interesting task here because they're both great.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how this goes, if I'm being honest.
Me too. I don't know how we're going to net out here at the end.
Honestly, I think either way, everybody wins except for Harry and Marv, and in all actuality, except for Kevin, because he has parents that don't care.
Who still might have charges pending. We don't know yet.
Sure. Yeah, totally. They might be waiting to go to jail. It's a lengthy process, the legal system.
That's true. Fuck those people. On to the Thunderdome.
Yay!
Movie versus movie. Welcome to the Thunderdome. This place fucking rules.
All right, Dave, we're back in the Thunderdome, and I'm giving up my life of crime because 8-year-olds exist, and I'm feeling pretty good.
I want to start a life of crime because I was inspired by an 8-year-old kicking the shit out of 2 bad guys.
Cool. Don't rob my apartment. I still have micro machines. So before we watch these movies, Dave, you and I, we decided on 6 things this time that we both agree make a good genre movie. In this case, Christmas movies.
Yep.
So let's go through them. Number 1, we need Christmas atmosphere.
Does this make you want hot cocoa and candy canes?
Number 2, it stars Macaulay Culkin.
Better than the Grinch, am I right?
Number 3, we need family drama.
What's Christmas without a little spilled wine and fistfights?
Number 4, we need an antagonist trying to ruin Christmas.
Let us have one nice thing, you dicks.
Number 5, we need a life lesson.
You gonna learn today.
And number 6, we need a wholesome happy ending.
Where is all this dust coming from? All right, well, let's just dive right into Christmas atmosphere. In Home Alone 1, aside from the family wanting to go to Paris, this movie is loaded with Christmas atmosphere, okay? Yeah. The opening score is a Christmas ditty that also is a little mischievous. Also, the chaos in the beginning with arguments, that's Christmas, baby. But also, the snow, the lights, the decorations, and the ice skating in the background, church singing. This movie is loaded with Christmas atmosphere.
I think both of these movies have great Christmas atmosphere. And I think Home Alone 1 is full of it. It sets the scene. Both these movies do a great job setting the Christmas scene. Home Alone 2 specifically has so much Christmas atmosphere. I mean, it takes place in New York in the couple days leading up to Christmas, which is like where Christmas lovers go to experience that holiday, right?
Sure.
There's red and green and Christmas trees and street vendors selling knockoff presents that disappoint your entire family. Basically paradise. Right?
Yeah.
The plot is even more Christmas-centric, though, than the original film. So that takes the top spot from me.
Okay, I don't know if I agree with, it being more Christmas-centric, because arguably, Christmas is meant to be at home with your family. Now, obviously, his family is neither one of these things, but it is at home in Home Alone 1. So
in Home Alone 2, he's trying to save Christmas for broken children, as opposed to just saving his own self.
Okay, listen, Kevin is next level, all right?
It's true. And speaking of Kevin, I think we can get right into our second point, which, does this film star Macaulay Culkin? Confirmed. Home Alone 2 is a clear winner here as well. He's the Culkinest of Macaulays in number 2.
Well, you can't say it's the winner because he's also the Culkiest of Macaulays in the first one.
Sure ain't. This is an evolved form.
He's just a little older.
I would argue more deadly.
Listen, I think you're wrong because this is the movie that arguably truly launched his career, before Richie Rich destroyed it 4 years later.
I mean, yes, you're right. It did launch his career. B, this is him hitting his peak, though. Like everybody's first big film isn't necessarily their best. This is Macaulay Culkin's peak performance in a Home Alone franchise movie. Hands down.
I don't know, because he's just a little older, you know?
I would argue more tempered and mischievous.
I don't think you can get much more mischievous than he already is. In fact, I think it's more of a lateral move because he's already like the maximum level of mischievous you could be as a fucking 8-year-old, and I think he just stays that level as a 10-year-old. And speaking of things staying the same, you know what doesn't stay the same?
What?
Buzz's height. You know, his family. You know, family drama.
Holy shit, over the mountain and through the woods to family drama we go.
So the only reason that Kevin succeeds at protecting his house, possessions, and himself is all because of his family drama.
Wow.
I'll get to it. Let's backwards this shit, okay?
Did you just Tarantino this on me?
I sure fucking did. So, Kevin beats down the wet bandits.
Yeah.
Thanks to his stubbornness. Thanks to every member of his family being a dick to him. Boom, family drama. Every member of his family treats him like a doormat.
Oh, I mean, his family sucks through both of these movies for sure. Both movies have this in spades, but Home Alone 2's family drama is way more intense because for the second year in a row, they fucked up and left their son out of a trip. But now he's in a giant city and not just at home where he knows like what's up. Like these parents should be in fucking prison and waiting to see if the authorities will ever do anything to them. That's drama. It's the unspoken drama. Also, Uncle Frank needs to be assassinated.
I'm not going to disagree, but I would say that arguably they treat Kevin worse in the first one than they do in the second one.
I don't know. Maybe. I just think the family drama is a little more intense. And honestly, the family is essentially the villains, too, to start both of these movies.
A little bit, yeah.
And I think that kind of gets us going into our next point, which is antagonists trying to ruin Christmas. Harry and Marv are back this time around in Home Alone 2 with reduced brain capacity, of course. But in the first one, they just want to steal some stuff from a house. But here, they want to steal the Christmas money that's supposed to go to dying children. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That is so anti-Christmas, I can't even articulate it.
Well, okay, I'm not going to disagree because that's pretty shitty. I'm just going to say this, okay? The Grinch needs to eat his entire heart out with Harry and Marv around because they are trying to steal from everyone on this block. And okay, fine. Their victims may be out of town, but Kevin isn't, and they've given up on their thievery to specifically ruin Kevin's Christmas in a way that would ruin anybody's Christmas, trying to unalive you.
I mean, it's a fair point. Both of these obviously have it. I just think it's a little more intense in number 2.
Yeah, just because of the charity thing that they're trying to steal from, sure.
Yeah.
I have a hard time agreeing with you because these two guys don't learn their lesson. You know, their life lesson. Because there are so many life lessons in the first Home Alone movie. It's actually kind of shocking. So first and foremost, don't leave your fucking 8-year-old at home.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have to say that, but here we are. Next, we have, don't treat your family so shitty. I'm looking at you. Literally everyone in this movie. Also, we got, don't let fear rule your life. And also, have a backup alarm always. That was my biggest takeaway anyway.
That's true. There are a lot of life lessons in Home Alone 1. In Home Alone 2, though, Kevin learns the ultimate life lesson. Always trust strangers with bird shit on them. But for it, he basically learns the same lesson as the first movie, which is families suck, are mean, and will neglect you. But in the end, you should suffer through them until you're old enough to be independent. It's a hard life to lead, but somebody has to do it. And I don't know. I think once you kind of weave through these things, I think you can kind of arrive at the natural conclusion of all of these movies, our happy ending. Home Alone 2, as with the first one, has a heartwarming, happy ending. The whole family end up in New York on a wintry Christmas morning to presents instead of crappy old Florida where it rains and sucks. Everyone here gets what they want, and honestly, I know I said some stuff before, but they should probably just lose Kevin every year until they end up in a Swiss chalet filled with gold bullion and champagne faucets, dude. This kid is just up in their level every year.
The fact that Kevin gets like multiple happy endings and the fact that it's in fucking New York is hard to argue against. So I'm not gonna. So I will argue for Home Alone 1, where we have the epitome of a happy ending, right? Yeah. Kevin prevails against the wet bandits. Mom gets home to him. He forgives Mom. The family is nice to him, finally, even if it's only for 5 minutes. And hey, regular old neighbor guy even gets reunited with his family. Everyone's happy, aside from me, because how do you leave a whole ass child at home?
Can't get over the first 15 minutes of that movie, and neither can I. It's traumatic.
It's super traumatic.
Trauma. The tagline for these movies.
Although, I gotta say, I don't think Kevin's really gonna be traumatized because he won both times.
He's kind of a sociopath at this point, honestly, with none of this stuff really affecting him. We don't know what happened in the off season, if he saw somebody, if he's getting counseling, or if he's... Probably not. But he could be on like the early internet, though, learning like travel guides to the cities. Because how the fuck else do you know how to take cabs and like the public transit and shit and go to all these locations in New York City in a day? The kid's a travel planner.
No, he's just a Mensa level genius / sociopath.
He's the Patrick Bateman of 8-year-olds.
But he hasn't fully committed murder yet. Yeah. Speaking of yet, we haven't gotten to the finish line yet. So
we do have to hash this out. We have to figure out which movie is more Christmassy than the other movie, and we can only do that in one place, Dave.
Didn't we just do that?
No. What? Hasn't been that long since we've done a show.
Hey, look. We did it. It's the finish line. We're at the finish line. Can I go home yet? All right.
All right, Dave, I'm feeling a little nervous. My sweat is pouring out of my sweater, so the name checks out. But you know, we gotta get to the meat of this thing. We gotta know, what is your choice for first prize film?
Ooh, okay. Here's the thing. I love both of these movies. All right. I think they are both extremely Christmassy. They both happen during Christmas. There's snow in both. There's Christmas trees in both. There's ice skating in both.
Oh, true.
And family drama in both. And what's, Christmas time without family drama? So
yeah, all these hit our points.
There are also cookies and milk in both movies.
Oh, yeah. Good catch. Good catch.
Right.
Christmas essentials. Sorry, lactose intolerant people.
Yeah, fuck you guys. So I think it's very hard to just say which one's more Christmassy. I think they're both equally Christmassy.
Okay.
So I think, honestly, the better Christmas movie for me is the one that makes me feel more. Makes me feel a certain way more.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm going to go with Home Alone 2 Lost in New York because... Yes, because Kevin does stand for something other than himself and protecting himself in this one. And, the bird lady, the with the turtle doves thing, that got me. The fact that Buzz legitimately gives him ups this time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's the Christmas tree scene in New York where she, Mom finds Kevin. All of it just makes me feel a certain way. And not to take away anything from Home Alone 1, but I think this is the better one.
Wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. You throw me for a loop here. It's such a great movie, dude. Home Alone 2 is so good, and it embodies so many of the points and the things that make a good Christmas movie, and a memorable one, in fact. But for me, it's Home Alone 1.
Son of a bitch!
I think Home Alone 1, there's more magic to it, with Kevin and him wishing his family away, and it feels more original and less overdone to me. It feels very pure and not small necessarily, but contained. We're in the perspective of this little boy who is home alone for the first time, and things are scary and new, and people are coming in, and it feels more magical, I think. Okay. I think the family themes are stronger in the first one as well, because number 2, the family stuff feels a little more tacked on. It feels like it's taken a backseat to some of the hijinks and shenanigans that Kevin gets into. I just think that number 1 nails that Christmas vibe just a touch more than Home Alone 2.
I guess that leaves us with one thing left to do.
There's literally only one thing left to do.
Kill each other.
Finally.
Wait, was that not?
Hail Satan!
This is the captain. Red alert. Red alert.
Welcome to the Tiebreaker.
Here we go.
Blake.
Mom, Mom. Not too much. We are recording a holiday special episode for the podcast, and I have a question for you.
Yes, ask away.
So we're trying to decide which movie is the better Christmas movie, Home Alone 1 or Home Alone 2, both of which I know you've seen, so I was wondering if you could give us your opinion.
My opinion is Home Alone 1.
Oh.
Classic. You filthy animal. Classic. Number one, all the way. The things that I like about Home Alone 1 is how smart that little Kevin is. And he comes up with all these things, how much he's paid attention in life.
How does this movie make you feel about Christmas?
Makes me feel warm about Christmas and renewed hope because of the little old man and how he, made friends with Kevin and he got back together with his family.
Oh,
It was a warm, fuzzy feeling.
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's totally fair. Well, thank you. You are our official tiebreaker, and Home Alone 1 takes the cake for this episode.
Yeah,
so thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Mom.
Mom.
You are so welcome.
See, the only podcast where we get to call our moms.
There you go. Perfect.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, I'm here for you anytime, guys.
Thanks, Mom. Love you.
Thanks, Wendy.
Love you too.
Bye. Well, there you have it. Home Alone 1 is our winner. But again, I don't think there's any losers here today. They're both great films for Christmas.
Yeah, I honestly am not really mad about this one. Normally I'd be like, oh man, but this time I get it. It was not even like A and B for me. It was like 1A, 1B. They were both equally good. I just gave the edge to 2.
Yeah. Anyway, I have to get to my church to worship Santa. So I will catch you in the new year?
Maybe. I'm going to be busy setting traps for bad guys. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay. Well, again, lots of micro machines. Still play with them. Let me know if you need any. Also, sharp Legos. I'm a child.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't forget about any of these and die in my sleep.
Well, I guess I'll be hosting this alone. See you on season 3. Blake tries to host a podcast.
Oh, boy. Hey, First Prize listeners, thanks for tuning into this special Christmas bonus episode. Thanks for assaulting bad guys with paint cans with us.
Yay.
If you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed hearing us laugh at the pain of others, consider subscribing to our socials. It's at First Prize Pod on all platforms, and that includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're on TikTok and YouTube as well. Also, don't forget to check out our website. It's firstprizefilms.com.
Yep, we do this for free because sometimes crime does pay. But if you'd like to support us, consider rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts or come hang out on Twitch. We stream every week talking about movies, having some laughs, and chatting with all of you.
It's a lot of fun. And you know what else is going to be fun?
What?
When we're back next month with a very special episode for my birthday, where my present is torturing Blake with movies he hates.
Because fuck me, right?
See ya!
Bye ya! Did you ever have anybody like this in your neighborhood growing up, like an old legend of the creepy house or anything like that?
Yeah, I actually had some kid convince me that rocks in my backyard were actually a graveyard.
Oh, wow. Fucking scary. I did myself, but it turns out the guy wasn't killing people. He was just cooking meth.
Oh.
I had a bad childhood.